Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host of all hosts, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org, where you can find all of our shows, and not to mention the fact that even if you catch the regular show every week on TV, we've done 6 or 7 election specials, largely judicial, that you're also welcome to watch. Jewish Chicago is out on the street. It's running wild. If you see it, call the cops, haul it in. And if you've missed it on the street, go to the web at ntnm.org. You'll be able to get a full copy of Jewish Chicago, ads and all. And thanks to Sonny Hirsch for all the help with the show. It is a pleasure to introduce you to, there's so many good people you get to meet in the judicial community, and somebody who's really got great ratings, is highly thought of by the entire judicial community, who is running for the appellate court, is Judge Patrick Sherlock. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you again.
First of all, pleasure, and thank you for coming. Tell us about yourself and tell us about the campaign.
Okay, well, the campaign, as I'm sure you've heard, is a long road. Cook County is a gigantic county, and I've had a great time meeting people from as far south as Glenwood all the way up through Palatine. So it's been a lot of fun. I've had a great time meeting people all over the county, and I'm looking forward to the end of it, but it's been a great time. As far as who I am, I'm a judge at the Daly Center, and I handle post-judgment enforcement. I'm a lifelong Chicagoan. I've been here my whole life, and I plan on staying.
Now, how long have you been a judge?
I've been a judge almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in 1 month. I was appointed in March of '07 by Justice Ann Burke, and I've loved it.
And now you're running for the appellate court.
The appellate court. The appellate court, I just came up with this, a great analogy, and we were talking sports before the show began. The appellate court is kind of like instant replay, because what it does is it gives the appellant an opportunity to point out errors that were committed during the trial court level. And the appellate court gets to take a much longer look at the issues in many cases than the trial judge could have, because decisions need to be made during the course of the trial, and sometimes errors are made. And the appellate court is that backstop, and they get to take a longer, more focused look as the issues are addressed in briefs.
Very cool, and it's definitely, it's a different type of judging. I mean, basically, well, explain how the appellate court works to people.
The appellate court takes every case that is brought up from the trial court. You don't have to appeal an erroneous decision, but you're able to, and the appellate court has to hear that appeal so long as it's timely brought. And the party at the losing end raises issues. So they might say that the trial court made an error in deciding issue number 1, issue number 2, and issue number 3. The appellate court then decides, was the trial court correct in those 3 issues? If issue number 4 was a mistake but never raised, that issue is waived. And it's forever going to be an error. And that's what the appellate court does. They correct the errors that are brought to them.
Now, my understanding too is that you wouldn't be alone. You would be part of a panel.
The way they do it is they have 24 appellate court judges in Cook County. They break them down into groups of 4. So there are 6 groups of 4, and a panel that hears an appeal is 3. So for any given case, 3 will be assigned to the case, and 1 will not, and then they rotate through.
Very good. And before you were a judge, where were you practicing?
I started off at a small firm, Huff & Gaines. John Huff is now a judge, so that's where I started. I was there for about a year. Then I went on to Beagle & Sandler, which was a plaintiffs-oriented securities firm. So we did litigation across the country. We had offices in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. And we really had a national practice.
Nice.
And after that, I formed my own law firm, and I did some of the same things, some of the securities litigation that I did while I was at Beagle & Sandler, and many other things.
Very nice. So now it's, well, you already mentioned from Glenwood to Palatine, it's a big county.
It's a big county.
So we were talking off the air before. You're going, I assume, at least a couple of events every night, most nights?
Yeah, usually I'll hit at least 2, sometimes 3. Saturday.
And this is in addition to being a judge and having a family.
In addition to being a judge and having I have a wife and 3 kids, and I think that they'll be quite excited when this is over because they'll be able to see me again. But you know, it's been nice. It's been nice to get out and meet voters, and voters really need to know who their judges are because the judges make decisions that affect everyone's life, whether it be from a parking ticket or a multi-million-dollar case. You want to know who is making a decision in your case, and the only way to do that is to make an informed decision. And it's shows like this that give voters an opportunity to learn who the prospects are that are seeking their vote.
And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. I also want to mention there's a blog called For What It's Worth that Jack Leahy runs, where you can get various information. And I also want to thank Tom Stapka. So
you know, Tommy's great, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is.
He's a union printer here in Chicago who is both politically interested and very helpful to not only judicial candidates but other candidates. But he's been great to me in this election cycle, so I'd like to thank him as well.
Yeah, no, he's you know, it's been a pleasure to really have a chance to deal with him, and he's a very straightforward guy. I really like him. Okay, is there, when you do talk to people, is there, you just try to impress them with who you are, or?
Well, I think the thing that people need to know about the appellate court is a couple of things. One, in most cases, it's the last chance they're going to have. The Supreme Court doesn't take every case that is presented to it. They get to pick and choose. The appellate court doesn't have that option. It's important that the appellate court judges get the decision right. And you have to investigate the candidates to see who gets it right. I think I get it right most of the time. I've handled, and I think I mentioned these astounding figures last time I was on the show, more than 150,000 cases a year. So in 4 years in 1401, where I'm presently assigned, I've handled, just doing simple math, more than 600,000 cases.
Wow.
And my cases have been appealed, and in but one case, they've been affirmed. So I like to say 600,000 to 1, pretty good odds.
Those are great odds, I got to say that. There's no question about it. Why don't you give people your website?
My website is www.judgesherlock.com.
www.judgesherlock.com. You know, it's been so great meeting all the really good judicial people, and you're one of the better people beyond question that I've been able to meet during the course of the campaign. I'm so glad you came here, and I want to wish you all the luck in the world come March 20th, Election Day. And remember, start from the bottom of the ballot and do all the judges, okay?
Right, and punch 119.
119. Good number, nice price. Thank you so much, and good luck.